Hello and welcome to this video on something I've noticed a lot on mainly Facebook, but not so much on LinkedIn, but it's this myth of the alpha male, and it seems to be an American import. Thankfully, we don't have it in the UK yet in the same way. But if you've been sent this link or you're here at someone else's behest, then please pay attention, and I want to explain to you why they're sending you here. Okay? So let's look at it from a developmental perspective. My name is Dr. Darren Stevens, and I normally do videos about constructive development theory, but this time we're going to apply CDT to this. Let's move on. A couple of things just to start off with quickly. No video on this one. Delusional self, developmental stage, the illusion of certainty and performance versus reality. Please pause the video here and have a read of this slide for your own benefit, and then we'll move on to the next slide. All right, brilliant. See, the fascinating thing is that the alpha male construct dissolves as we ascend the AQ scale, because the mind becomes capable of recognizing it for what it is. It's a low complexity heuristic masquerading as identity. So let me sketch out a CDT mapping of the alpha male, and we're going to go from AQ4 to AQ9, okay? So if we frame it through the constructive development theory, the phenomenon makes this thing called, it's kind of a trap in how you think. And if you look at the people that are predominantly trapped in this alpha male mindset, the only time I'm going to use that, you can see why. So the intention is often to gain respect or sexual access if you prefer, and the awareness is low. They're just not aware of how they are. The choice becomes limited. They can only act in this dominant or submissive dichotomy, and then the response is predictable: aggression, posturing, certainty, rejection of nuance. Well, that automatically makes them low level. So please pause the video. On the next few slides, I'm going to go through AQ4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I promise not to talk all the way through, but if you want to, pause it and have a look for yourselves at the words that are there, okay? So let's talk about the so-called alpha male. You've seen the videos, the posts, men telling you that you must be aggressive, dominant, untouchable. So there's like this wolf here with the red eyes, wild, snarling. That's the image they want you to believe, but look a bit closer. It's not strength, it's fear, it's insecurity, and it's insecurity dressed up as power. So the idea of the alpha male actually comes from bad science. Early studies on wolves and wolves packs thought that the strongest male dominated the pack, but later research showed the truth. What we call the alpha male is just the parent of the family. Not the dominant one, not the aggressive one, just mum and dad keeping the kids in line. But the internet took that mistake and built an entire masculinity index, industry around it. Now, if you're thinking about certain people who've made it rich based on this alpha male fallacy, I'm sure you know his name, the main one I'm thinking of, okay? But they're delusional. It's seen as real, but it's not. And if you look at the left-hand side of the screen, you've got some of the factors or facets of how they think, but bottom right, you've got the emotional undercurrent of the construct of an alpha male at this level of thinking. And you're going to see the difference as we go through the levels, especially when we get to 8 or 9. So this is the trap, right? The diagram, okay, here, this AQ6 wolf, low awareness. Men get stuck in what Alfred Korzybski called the is trap. They believe that I am the alpha, or status is everything, you know. But that kind of thinking hides the real emotions, the fear, the anxiety, the shame, and it prevents and blocks their growth. When you think of anything is, you're trapped. I am a lecturer. I am this. It's not true. It's a construct. So at the low level of awareness, we fall into the is trap. What we think is, I am alpha, status is everything. We hide our emotions, we puff up, we perform. But it's just a mask. It's just a mask for fear of not being enough. It's a cultural myth, a social construct, like I said, predominantly American, okay? Awareness, people cling to alpha because it soothes insecurities. It's not about wolves or men, it's about meaning making, okay? Deliberate disequilibrium is possible. At this stage, AQ7, they can use or reject a construct to stretch other people's thinking. But at AQ8, by the time you've grown into the higher awareness, the whole thing collapses anyway. You realise there's no such thing as alpha, there's no beta, there's no hierarchy of wolves or men. It's just a story. One you can laugh at, play with, or leave behind. See, real strength isn't pretending to be alpha. Real strength is awareness. And that's what takes you beyond the myth. So what is the truth of the alpha male? Even the seeing through is seen through at AQ8 and 9. Okay? You can construct or dissolve the alpha idea. Now, if you are already a high-level thinker, we know, don't we, that the people we see at the AQ4 and AQ5 level are acting out. And they're acting out from a position of zero awareness of self. But at AQ9, you see straight through all of that. Okay? Let's have a look at what it looks like when we put them all together. AQ5 at the bottom, AQ4 at the bottom. Traits, if you believe in traits, get hijacked into the alpha label because men lack the awareness to see them as human development, right? And AQ6, 7, whatever traits you think are there, they emerge naturally as emotional, relational, and systemically mature. And then AQ8 or 9, the alpha label dissolves completely. It's just another low complexity story to laugh at. And it's not that you're laughing at the story, you're laughing at the lack of awareness of the male who thinks that by being aggressive and big and strong and always the most intelligent one in the room, what you're really laughing at is the total lack of self-awareness. So what does that look like when you put it through a grid? Please pause the video here. Okay? Which cognitive intentions are useful at each level to move the person beyond the fallacy of alpha male? You can see them there. And there'll be more as well. Abstract, global, caring for others, externalized. Most of these people do not have an external locus of evaluation. It's all about their own sense of self. So finally, really, the alpha male myth is an emotional avoidance strategy. At AQ45, you're not really in touch with anything about yourself. It's built on fear, anxiety, and the denial of vulnerability. Only by bringing in the neglected cognitive intentions such as abstract, observer, global, caring for others, can awareness loosen enough to dismantle the is trap that Korzybski talked about. At AQ7+, the myth collapses, and at AQ8+, masculinity itself becomes fluid, no longer tied to dominant scripts. So that was a very quick run through of what an alpha male looks like at the different levels. In essence, at AQ4 is a total lack of understanding of themselves. At AQ9, you can see through all of the patterns. So if you want to talk about this or any other, thank you for listening right now. Thank you for watching. Get in touch with me or the IAD. If you want more psychology, say so, and I'll put some more up here. But this one was something that kind of stuck with me for the last few months. Alpha males aren't real. Thank you very much.